Hey everybody, we've had both the Audis for over a year now. Jen's had her Q5, it's a 2015 Q5 Premium Plus, 2-liter turbo for about 2 years, and I've had the A7 for about a year and a half. They're really nice cars, really nice cars. Mine's a C7, and I think hers is considered a B8. I'm not sure, but my A7's the 3-liter supercharged. We've had some issues. The only issue we've had with her Q5 is something I still got to fix. Is one of the lights in the bumper periodically doesn't work. We need to fix that. And the backup camera's been acting up. You put it in reverse, and most of the time, the backup sensors don't come on, and the backup camera doesn't light up. We think it's one of the sensors went out. I'm going to be probably doing the oil on it next week, and I'm going to be hooking the laptop to it and seeing what the code is, trying to figure that out. But that is the only issue we've had with that car in 2 years. That started acting up, which is weird. Over 100,000 miles, now. Like my A7, when I first got it, 3 days after I bought it, I lost a coil. Replaced that quick. Other than that, then the next winter, the gas door latch broke. I had to replace that, as there was a video, as you saw. And now, last winter, I noticed, around the same time, I noticed the thermostat stopped closing all the way, so it needed a thermostat. So within the last 2 months, I've had that car tore apart. I've replaced the thermostat, both lights, and both driver's side door handles. I found out where a bolt was missing, where a rattle was in the door today. Fixed that. Replaced the little piece of trim plastic that was broke by the mirror. And when I had it apart, I put all new plugs and coils in it. It's got ECS coils in it right now. I was going to redo the differential fluid in all three differentials, but I have to remove that big transmission bracket to get to the the drain plug on the center diff, on the torsion diff, and I don't have anything that lifts high enough to support the transmission, and so with the car on the stands anyway. So I'm going to be having the shop do that. But it was a shit show. I got it all back together just earlier. It's good to go, other than I need to take it into the shop before winter probably and have the fluid and the differentials replaced. I have all that. I would recommend, if you're going to buy an older Audi, the new ones seem to be having issues. You have to look up which engines have the cylinder issues. I'm seriously thinking that that's because people aren't changing the oil like they should. So I really do. I think people are running 5-weight, 0-weight, zero-weight oil, but putting 10,000 miles on it. I really think that's what's going on, and that's why people are fucking their motors up. I really do. I really doubt that if you run 540 and change it every 3,000 miles, minimum, max 4, I really doubt those cars would have that issue, but we don't have a test bed to know for sure. But I'd recommend, I love my A7. Our Audis are the nicest cars we've ever owned. The A7's the fastest car I ever owned, but I wouldn't be against owning another Audi necessarily, but it would be a 4-cylinder. It would be a 4-cylinder, most likely gas, diesel. Excuse me, turbo. It has been a long couple of days. So, gas or diesel, I guess, but probably just a 2.0T is probably what I'd have. You have a 4-cylinder in there. Some of them are better than others. At least you can get to shit. At least you don't have to put the car in service mode to replace it. You don't have a PCV valve underneath a supercharger. They've been pretty reliable, honestly, in the last couple of years. It's just that a thermostat at 113,000 miles had to be replaced. My car had some other work done to it before I bought it, and I'm sure it was because the previous owner, they had to do valve work on the car, because I'm pretty sure they didn't maintain it the way it was supposed to be, which is unfortunate for me, but most of that work's been done already, and so good. So I like the cars. The thing is, if you don't know how to work on them, they're going to be expensive to fix. Do not take it to a dealer. That's the big one. Well, fixing them yourself, they're not that bad. They're not designed too stupid compared to any other new cars. The older ones anyway, like mine and Jen's, aren't bad, are good cars. It's just that the 6 cylinders had the supercharger being in the way of everything. And then the design of the intake under the supercharger is just retarded. It is just bad. So I'll probably never buy another car with that motor in it. Supposedly a good, reliable motor. It's just that the few things that can go out are a real pain in the ass to replace. So I did record everything. Well, I didn't record everything. I documented what I was doing a little bit. I've got my editing keyboard on the desk, and after recording this, I'm going to edit weeks of random video I took with my cell phone together, so you can see what the last couple of months have been like. So I wanted to get this out ahead of time. So Audi, decent car, but when you good, seems to be an okay car, good car. They both have over 100,000 miles without any serious issues of any kind, other than just basic maintenance stuff. But it's just that some of the engines, that basic maintenance stuff if you have the dealer do it, it's gonna cost you $3,000. This job that I'm about to show you would have cost me would have probably cost me $4,000, $3,000 to $4,000 easy to have done. I did it myself for a few $100. So, till then, if you want to stick around and watch the crazy shenanigans, this is what this video was originally going to be before this intro and update. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to put a little bit of work into it. I'm going to try to learn some new techniques and stuff in the editing software. So, till then, enjoy, and thanks for watching. Well, change of plans. This stuff showed up. More of the dry lube and the silicone. It's the only thing that actually showed up. Got all these paint pens. And this handy dandy torque specs with everything. We are only going to be replacing the thermostat on this now. We're doing the rest of the stuff, but the only stuff that's being done under the motor is going to be the thermostat. First things first, we got to lift it up in the air and take the panels off the bottom so we can actually, in case I drop something, I can actually get to it. So, and there are the quick jacks up in the air, cars up in the air so we can get under it. These quick jacks are really handy, but they are, on these cars, a royal pain in the ass to set up, because you got, fucking hand. I don't know if you can see it, but you got those pucks in there for these cars, and it's a nightmare. I had it set to where they were still in it with the car down, had to reset them. Shit shifted, so time to start working on this. And that oil pan cover off. And just in case I forget, the short bolts are the ones that go in the transmission cover. And I do have a oil leak. I think it's one of the cam tensioner covers. I'm hoping it's not the oil filter housing. If it is, I'm going to have to replace that, which means I'm going to have to order the gasket or the housing, depending on how bad it is. I don't think it's the oil filter housing gasket. I think it's the one of the can cover dealies. But it's not enough to lose oil. It's just a little seep from up top somewhere. So we'll probably find it though in the process of this. Okay, I think I've got everything unplugged. I think I have more unplugged than I actually need to have unplugged. This is kind of a pain. Jesus Christ. Oh, I've missed a plug. Oh, God. Oh. Holy shit. That hurt. Damn. Okay. It was a plug that was really easy to get to that I can't believe I missed. Oh. Up the PCV pipe hose is still at the bottom. It's this thing, this little block. So I'll have to remember to reconnect before oh! I was afraid of damaging this. There, that's where that belongs. Okay, I gotta remember the unpainted. This hose goes here, right? Fished under that. Gotta remember that. But there is this curvy thing with all these screws. That is the heater core. I mean the thermostat. And it comes off this little harness. I'm not sure what it is. Appears to be in the way a little bit. And we do have to unbolt this pipe that runs across. Because here is the new thermostat. Goes on like that pipe. So we need to figure that out. And I'll have to flip the supercharger over and make sure the are clean. But yeah, the gaskets are all good. But yeah, this is the funness of owning one of these cars. Okay, I don't know if you can tell from the picture, but the right one is the old one. And it is more open. It was almost closing, but it wasn't closing all the way. There you go. You can see how it's higher. I got them lined up. That's enough to keep it so coolant goes through. The people that say the water pump pulley is hard to remove, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. You get one of these 4-square Allen wrench thing. I think this is an M20. Be nice if they label the damn thing so that they're labeled in the toolbox. It's an M10. Okay, it's M10 bolts. It just fits right in there. This car isn't in service mode. It just fucking fits. I don't, whatever. The hard part is getting these bolts out. Not these. These are the water pump pulley bolts. Oh wait, those are the yeah, these are the water pump pulley bolts, and this is the bolt for the pipes above it. Is these? It's this crossover pipe. I've got it loose down there and here. I was able to flex it just a little bit, which I was careful because you can break this enough to get the water pump, the thermostat out, because it just went bloop. But I can't force it enough to get it in there, right? You don't want to yank on this too much. So there's one screw under here that I need to remove so I can pull this away. But my light died as I pulled the thermostat out. I don't know what time it is. It's probably dinner. Jen's home. I need to do some shit. I am not going to get this finished today, but I've made some really serious fucking headway, man. Oh my god. Hoping that if that light will charge, so I can at least get that pipe out a little ways. I would like to get the new thermostat in. If I can get that new thermostat in, that's a good stop point for the day. So I'm hoping, probably not, but I'm hoping. And I'm done for the week. Just cheap piece of shit water pump. Thermostat. Broke. Putting it in. I mean, you got to be kidding me. This thing is a bitch, right? I figured out how to get it started after that broke with the it's this fucking you can't see anything. It's this fucking wire right here that goes loops around the fucking fuel line. You gotta kind of work it under there. And it doesn't just go in flush. It sits, and then it kind of lines up. You feel it, line up where it doesn't move, and then you got to kind of work the bolts in and fucking compress it. So I know, but this was a $250 fuck up. So I'm done. Done for the week. So I gotta find a place to put tools up. Probably leave the sockets and stuff I'm using, right here, so I remember what size they are. Took the fuel line bolts out, and I don't think that really did anything. So they do not move. They do not move hooked to the fuel rails, and I don't want to disconnect the fuel lines completely. Got all the bolts out. Supposedly got all the bolts out on this, right? This bitch. There's 2 down here. The service manual doesn't say there's 2 bolts, right? There's coolant pipe bolts. Got everything labeled. It says there's 3 bolts. Well, I've got 4 out, right? Unless there's a second one over here, like there was on the other side. This pipe, I mean, it moves around enough. There's another hose that goes in the bottom of this one over here, and that could be, that's probably what's holding it, because it's moving, right? It is moving too much to be bolted in. I'm guessing it's that hose down there. But I got to order a new thermostat now. And it's not going to be a Bremen. I'll tell you fucking that much. I'm going to get on FCP Euro and probably spend $250 more dollars on a fucking better made thermostat. You look in here, man, this thing just isn't made well or something. You know, there, it broke right here. I mean, broke in there. At least I know how to get it in there now. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're almost a week later. It is cold out here. It is like May something. Like last week was Cinco de Mayo. It should be warmer. I'm cold. I might have to put on a sweater. But I noticed in the video that some hoses looked like they were stuck on the back there. They must have just been hung up in the linkage there, because there are no vacuum line fittings under there, so they must have just been snagged. So there's that. I've been uploading stuff to the phone. Okay, the new thermostat showed up. The one on the left is the new one. The one on the right is the old one. I do have them marked so I don't fuck them up. These are both Audi, Volkswagen Group part. And I'm noticing something. You see these, right? These actually look the same, like they're in the same spot. I mean, it was acting like the thermostat was sticking open. This is in its coldest position. They both are, and they seem the same. So I'm going to be so pissed if I get this back together and it's still doing the same shit, right? But who freaking knows? But if you look at the metal rods that come out of the bottom of these, they look the same. In the camera, the left one looks longer, but looking in person, I think it's the angle, they're the same. This is the bottom of the one that broke. You see a difference there? I'm shaking, I'm shivering because it's cold out here. That's not right. That's probably why it wouldn't go in. So, yeah, that is way longer. That is significantly different. So, I'm probably going to go put an old sweater on or something. Jesus. And then, I don't know. It's like, what's the temperature out? Sorry for that, if you have one.
It's 52 degrees right now.
It's 52 degrees.
High of 76 and a low of 56 for the day.
It's 52 degrees with a high of 76 today. Whew. Bullshit. Bullshit. What's the date?
It's Thursday, May 14th, 2026 today.
Yeah, May 14th, and it's 50 degrees. But anyway, And these, just in case you were wondering, these turn really easy. Feels like there's a clutch in there. There should be. I don't know a whole lot about these. I know the Crack motors have I think they have a clutch. But, yeah, alright. See if we can get that in there. And I do have a proper plug-in trouble light coming. We looked at one at the hardware store. Couldn't find anything that wasn't a piece of shit that I didn't already own. And I did order a bunch of these. This one's going to go down there to run the whole length of the freaking garage table. So I'm looking forward to that. But look at this. Just dropped right in. Whoa, that's a weird effect. But it just dropped right in there. Refresh rate from the LED light, apparently. Yeah, that's creepy. But yep, dropped right in. Dropped right. Gee, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. Moral of the story: don't buy Bremen or URO. Apparently, do not buy that shit. Do not buy Bremen thermostats. But I get to look up the torque specs for the thermostat here. Quick. Here we are. We're looking at. So people that don't know how this works. There's a bunch of these, but that's bolt 13. Next page. 13 bolt, 9 Newton meters. So. And that's why we label things. There's the bolts. And thankfully, these fancy torque wrenches I have, Newton meters one side, foot-pounds on the other. This is set to 9 Newton meters, so. Gonna click these bitches down. Everything in basically literally everything under the hood on this engine is aluminum, including where I'm about to put these bolts in. So you basically, the exception of like these screws over here, which you can just snug with your fingers, but you can over tighten those, strip those really easy. You basically, if there's a bolt that goes in the motor, you want a torque wrench, you want to torque it. It's a pain in the ass, but you really want to do it. And I just realized my socket is a 3/8 and I got a 1/4 inch torque wrench. So, and they don't make adapters that go from small to big that I can find. So I'm going to have to, at least they make them that go the other way around, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, do I not own adapters? Oh, wait. There we go. Yeah. See, they make them that go the other way around, but small to big, they really don't. That I've seen. I'm gonna have to look that up, maybe order some. So I'm gonna have to grab the 3/8 drive, the middle one, out of there and use that. But yeah, I didn't think about that. Oh well. Okay, next time I'm in town, I need to get some reverse adapters, or just a whole bunch more adapters, because this is not actually. This is set at like 9.2 Newton meters, nanometers, whatever you want to call it. It's as close as I could get it. I had to go slightly over, slightly under. I went slightly over, and it's a good thing that I used a torque wrench, because this is installed now. Went around it, doot pattern, and then checked them all 3 times. Push that in there. There we go. Because that fucking thing set a little tighter than it says, just a little bit. That thing clicked before I thought it was going to. Aluminum. You have to use a torque wrench, because I would have over tightened those doing it by hand. So the next thing on the agenda is going to be screwing down this pipe again. This is going to be a nightmare. Hopefully it goes well. right? It's going to be very difficult to get the screws in there. And then re-bolt down the fuel rail. And then you can't see it, but I got a bunch of antifreeze just chilling in the valley because I didn't get, oops, all of this out as much as I thought when I drained it. So antifreeze, when I took the old one out, it leaked out into the valley, into the front. So I'm gonna go get a vacuum cleaner, wet vac with probably the little skinny attachment from the living room. I have to rinse it afterwards and suck that out of there, because I had to do it like this. But yeah, once this is all fully done, all the bolts are in, I get to go through here, clean it out. I remember there's a hose over here somewhere. I got to plug into something. I remember that. There's a hose. There's no plugs, but there is a vacuum line that has to plug in to this. And then after that's everything cleaned out, that vacuum line's plugged back in. This loom's put back down in there. The belt's on. This bolt's reconnected. Get everything situated to put the supercharger back on. So, might not get that done today, but because according to the camera, Jen just got home, so. Okay, some of you might know this trick already, but it's impossible to hold these bolts in to start them, so we're doing this. Jen's mowing the lawn right now. It takes 2 pieces of electrical tape, and you want to make sure you turn them so when you pull it off, it turns the bolt clockwise. But I'm getting that fucker in there. And if you're wondering what I'm going to be using to get into this one, I got the last one with my fingers. It's always a good idea to have a pair of surgical pliers. Yep, gonna have to undo that with 2 hands in your toolbox. Or what some people would refer to as a giant ass roach clip. Surgical pliers, they come in handy working on cars. This is the only one I have. This long one, I should get more. But you know, we're gonna get in there, fish it in there, grab a hold of that, and there we go. Hopefully this works. Okay, those didn't work, so I ended up having to use these. But yeah, lawn pliers, those roach clips, those surgical pliers do come in handy though, for certain things. They just weren't strong enough, but that worked. Okay, the serpentine belt on this car is weird. 99% sure it's on there, right? Alright, I checked all the pulleys it goes over, and it's fed right. But if you look, this is the idler pulley for the supercharger right here, right? The tensioner is down behind these pipes for the serpentine belt. But it comes up, it wraps around the harmonic balancer and then goes this way. Goes around what looks like the air conditioner. You know. Oh my god. Up over the water pump, down around the alternator, up around the idler pulley here, and then down. Oh my god, it's just so fucking confusing. But it looks like this idler pulley for the supercharger has to come off to actually get the belt off the car. You can't see it because I don't have the light on the phone. There we go. But you see that right here, this belt where it goes, God, can I get it to focus there? Where it goes back there, it's behind, so close to that supercharger pulley right here that it doesn't clear. So I think that pulley actually has to come off to, yeah, it is not, God, it is not fitting through there. That supercharger idler, which is held on with a 4-square, it looks like, has to come off to actually replace the belt on this car. So that fucking pulley is basically the reason the belt was still lined up when I went to put it back on this whole time. That is fucking nuts, man. Jesus. But yeah, I finally traced it, saw how it went. And then as I was trying to describe it, I'm like, wait a minute, I said that wrong. The serpentine belt on this car is a fucking nightmare. Hopefully you could replace the serpentine, but God, serpentine belt with the supercharger on it, but I don't know, man. You might not be able to. Holy shit. But it's on there. Okay. She is all back together. This little loom right here was a bitch to figure out. It was really simple once I got it in. But what's the next thing on the list is to kind of pull these out, vacuum, get that antifreeze that's sitting in the valley out of there. And then I'm going to have to make sure everything's tucked away. Then I'm going to replace, I could probably get away with not doing it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to replace all the green gaskets because I have a bunch of new ones in a bag over there. And then clean it all out. And then once that's cleaned out and the gaskets are in, the supercharger's going on. I got the that hose right here hooked back up. I got the coolant temperature sensor plugged back in. Everything's bolted back down where it should be. Belt's on. These pipes are tight again. So it's basically at the point ready for the supercharger to go back on. There's just some prep I got to do before I do it. Clean that out, replace those seals, and then on she goes. Okay, this is the next day, and I ended up using a wet drive at my shop vac. I'm not even 100% sure where the filter is for this, so this has been in wet mode forever. With our little shark adapter, and then that wasn't small enough, so I stuck this in there. It's just my generic hose I use for siphoning fuel or antifreeze and shit to get in there and get the antifreeze out of there. This hose that's down here, this little pump that I bought that I was going to use to suck this out, doesn't work. It has to be primed in order to work, which means you have to have fluid to the pump before you start to pump. If there's air behind it, it is completely useless. I'm hoping that the other one I have over here, I'm not going to use a small hose on that, for these actually works. Although if that doesn't, I can force, oil into the line with tipping and but I'm going to test that before I ever even attempt. But in hindsight, I should have just used this fucking wet dry vac to suck the antifreeze out. Whatever. But that antifreeze is out of there. We're going to be moving the rags and then vacuuming all the dirt and shit carefully with the intakes covered. So can't really record that. Okay, all the intake gaskets are replaced, in case you're wondering what these look like. One of the better designs in this car, which is weird, but they did a good job of that. Those are easy. Way easier to replace the average intake manifold gasket. Still got these covered. Everything should be ready to go. I got the belt, supercharger belt, sitting there kind of pre-staged. So the only thing left to do before next step is that's ready. It should be ready to go on. I just gotta take these off, do one last, look over, glance over of everything, and make sure everything's good out of the way where it should be. And then we'll be lifting that son of a bitch back on there. So Okay. Designed pretty well, actually. You can. It was a struggle at first, but the to get it lined up. But once you look, you can actually see, and you can just line it up, and it just went whoop. Let's do that. Yep. Didn't make a difference. There we go. Jesus, man. Ow! Ow, ow. Oh. Those pliers did a number on, I don't know if you can see it. God damn, it got me in the finger. I have to take the angle grinder. But I'm not going to record me hooking everything back up. Gotta fire the music back up so I can listen to that, and that's gonna be copyright infringed. Oh, and just quick reference, I haven't had to use the silicone lube yet, surprisingly. But this dry lube, the Specialist Dry Lube WD-40, you spray it on the pipe, let it drip off, and these hoses just go right on. It's freaking great for that. Okay, this dry lube is amazing. I don't know if you can see this rubber piece. It goes through over a tab. That would not go. I sprayed that dry lube on it, and it slid right the frick over. So this has to go there, right? I'm gonna spray a little bit of that dry lube on this, and that should slip right on too. You have one plug here that I gotta figure out where it goes yet though, which is right there. So it's the last one. Well, I did forget to put this back on before putting the supercharger back on. I was gonna put these back in, but I looked into it, and this is just a sound deadening thing. It's not about it. The heat from the supercharger, none of that shit hurts anything down there. I looked into it. It's just a sound deadening thing. So that's all any of this shit is. This could help with chafing of hoses, the back ones, but we're just not gonna put them in. Fuck it. But there was another plug over here that I saw right after hitting stop on the video. So superchargers completely put back together. Everything's plugged in. If the antifreeze was topped off and the intake was on, I could start the car right now. So we're good there. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna do this side, then this side, get those swapped out, and then it's going to be recharge the coolant time. Okay, all the plugs and coils have been replaced on this side. There's the old ones. That roach clip surgical pliers came in handy because those spark plugs are way down there. They're coming loose, but all but one, the back one, came out with the socket. The rest just laid in there. They were a bitch to get out. We're putting NGKs in there. These are the NGK iridiums that it's supposed to be running. It's got forged spark plugs in it. And they're a little dark, but they don't look bad. The gap's about right, maybe a little big. Gap's a little high on them, right on the edge. I mean, they're the same spark plugs, right? That are in there. I think they're iridium, Autolite XP 3924. But that's something people do that drive me fucking crazy, right? Those are Ford plugs. That's got Autolites in it. My Mercury has Autolites in it. The convertible outside that you can't see has AC Delco spark plugs in it. And my old Jeep had the other one, the other American out of the three. The Mopar one. I can't frickin' remember the brand name right now. I'll probably look it up and put it on the video, on the screen during the video. It's gonna drive me nuts. But Dodge spark plugs, and that's just what you do. That's just what you do. We've had, we put Autolites, they were the right plugs in an S10 one time, truck didn't run right. Couldn't figure it out. We're like, you know what, they're Autolite plugs, let's put AC Delcos in it. Same plug supposedly, and it ran fine. That's a thing. Always don't run aftermarket spark plugs. Run the brand name the car came with stock. Run the plugs and the brand the car came with stock. You could adjust gap and shit like that if you're highly tuned, but run stock fucking plugs. It solves so many issues. The little freaking idle, like the little rough idle after the cars warm up, you could barely feel it. I mean, you can't see it in the tack. You just kind of feel that little shimmy. It's probably because of those fucking plugs. We'll find out. But now I'm going to do the other side, and then the next video will probably be the antifreeze job. So, okay, we've got this sucker chilling under vacuum with an adapter that goes into the source. That goes to the tank. This goes to the air compressor. As you can see, the upper radiator hose is kind of collapsed. There's a lot of vacuum in there. And we are at just below max. When I release the vacuum, it drops down it's in the reservoir, but it's below add. So I'm going to let this set a timer for 5 minutes.
5-minute timer started.
And assuming, hopefully, that this is holding, which means, well, for the most part, it's basically holding, right? So we shouldn't have any leaks, hopefully. But then I'll take this off, we'll top it off, close it all up, and then we'll be test firing the car. And hopefully there's no air bubbles in the system. Or hopefully the car itself, if there are any little gaps, because it'll force them out, burp them out, because we'll start it probably with the cap off. Kind of watch it a little bit. So probably be on, and then I'll crack it. So, well, she's running, and there does not appear to be any antifreeze leaking out of it yet, which is good. The fluid's holding. We're just waiting for it to warm up. Have the thermostat open, basically, is what we're waiting for. So I'm just going to sit here. The garage door's cracked. And if anybody knows what that intermittent sound is, it's coming from back there. Coming from back here somewhere. It starts and then it stops. It's something that's actuating. I need to look it up. Right? It'll go for a while and then it'll stop. I don't know if it's like the PCV valve working or what the fuck it is, but it doesn't do it all the time. So it's not mechanical, it's something that's actuated. So I'm assuming it's supposed to be doing it. I just have no fucking clue what it is. So, well, we're just playing the waiting game now. Well, I looked it up, and supposedly it's the evap system. I do need to, once the car's off, yeah, I might just leave that. There's a, that's loose right there. I might tuck that back up there. But apparently that's the evap system cycling, you know, because it'll do it for a minute and then it'll stop. So apparently that's what that is. Okay, we have been at halfway for a while. I've been throttling it. And holding it at 2,000 RPM, all that fun shit. And it's not overheating. The temperature has stopped. The coolant, the oil temperature is sitting at about 177. Goes back down after I rev it. So we're doing good there. All the gauges are reading good. Well, okay. I worked on this way longer than I planned today. It's getting hot out. But the car is completely back together under the hood. It is drivable now. Thermostat is working. There's no obvious leaks. It's cooling back down. Next step is to see if I can do and want to do the differentials. That's going to be maybe next week. But the car is drivable at the moment. It's back together. And the car will be drivable from here on out, except for when I'm changing oil in a diff. I know I can do the back one just fine. I know I can get to the back one. The middle one is the iffy. The middle and the front are the iffy ones. I got to pull the wheel off and look, you know, at the front. I need to get under the car and double check. I'll catch up with you on step 2, whatever step 2 may be. Okay, I'm picking up now. But these showed up. Look at that. Woo! There's my pocket knife on there, so don't forget it. All the way down. Magnets. And then I put that old black one up there so I can, like, I don't know, is this magnetic? Oh, it's got water in it. I was wondering where this went. That's why I'm drinking out of this. It's like this little fake soda can. If you read the ingredients, it's actually kind of funny. Cool Gear. Got that on vacation somewhere. There's the new trouble light. Just picking stuff up. Oh, I guess the parents are coming over for dinner. That is going to come in handy, having a line of magnets. They're not straight. And they come with these little plastic things to make them look pretty if they're perfectly lined up. Right here. But, fuck that. There we go. We got a line of magnets. Measured that out pretty good, actually. Well, I've gone under the car. And, you have to remove the cross member that supports the transmission to get to the drain plug for the center differential. They conveniently leave that out of the service manual. Let's see, if you look, there's the back of it. Here's the fill plug. I can see that. Drain plug's right here. I can feel that, but there's this metal thing. I can reach in and feel it, so it's there. The front one, although I can gain access to all this with the wheel off, I haven't seen or found, actually made eyes on either of these yet, although I'm looking right at it. Yeah, there's the wheel I'm bumping. Here's a closer view of what it looks like. There is a giant pressed metal, like cast metal, cross member over top of that. And it's not this. That must be what's underneath there. I don't know if that's safe to remove or what, man, but it completely leaves that fucking information out. Both the drill pumps are bad. I went into town and got me one of these things. Looks like something you inseminate a farm animal with, but this is for refilling those. Went all the way into town to Harbor Freight to get that. because both those drill pumps are bad. But I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to put the wheel back on and screw this shit, because I could tell by looking at that, if I remove that, I have to support the transmission. Now, I have a transmission jack around here somewhere. It's over there underneath the motorcycle, the two motorcycle jacks I have way out there in the corner. It doesn't go anywhere high enough to support that, right? I do not have a jack that can go high enough to support that, you know, with this far in the air. I mean, I don't know if you can see how high this thing is, but the bottom trim is above my knees, so I can't do it. So I'm just going to have to probably one of these days take it to somebody with a lift that has those little those little woo 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 things, you know, that they can support stuff with, and do it. I can't do it. I could buy something like that, but I mean, for fuck's sakes. I might call Dave. I might call the local shop down there. It's like, hey, you guys never did the fluid change, stuff. It's like, I've got the fluid. Turns out I got to do all this, and I can't, and then see if they'll do it for me. I could buy the little wee support thing. They probably make one that, because usually they go like this high, they probably make one that you can slide under this, but what's that going to cost? I think I'm done. I think I am fucking done with this. So I'll probably put the wheel back on, drop the car back down, probably take the wraps out from under it, start working on the doors. Fuck this shit. Fuck it. Don't know if you can see them, because I'm not looking. Doors are on. We're gonna delay that for now. Next thing to do, I still can't believe spent all that money to get this far enough in the air to work on it, which these have come in handy. We're gonna end up using these. So it's not like this is a wasted purchase, but it helps doing all this other shit. And then now the car's too high to get, it's like, fuck. But yeah, we're gonna lower this all the way down, open the door, lower this all the way, disconnect the quick disconnect lines, yank these out, back the car out, and then slide everything against the wall over here. So, okay, things aren't going well. Well, they weren't. This new light's in here. The door handle light and works. I've got the new door handle light in this one. I haven't tested it yet. If it doesn't, it's new. That's what was wrong with this one, so I'm assuming this one will work. If it doesn't, I'm not doing anything. I'm done. Because as you can see, this door panel is completely tore off because I still have an Allen wrench to pull out of here. I'm just recording this as I'm waiting for painkillers to work. There's the speaker. For a Bose speaker, that looks pretty fucking chintzy. That's whatever. There's still a wrench. I don't want to drop my cell phone down there. There's still a wrench down there somewhere. There's a little screw here that you can't, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a hole right there. There's a little T20 Torx bit, right? It's a lot easier to do it on the front. On the back, This actually broke, but thankfully the side clips are nice and strong, so it's good. And you know, on the front, it's a lot easier. It's right here, and it's just right there. There's a little slidey thing in there. That's the housing for the lock. This has the lock. This has a piece of plastic. I didn't take a picture of it when it came apart. And it's basically that screw that you back off and it stops. It's a set screw, like a set bolt that holds the faux locking mechanism, the piece of plastic in here. And that's what also keeps the door handle from moving. So what you do is you pull this chunk out, and then this handle just goes boop, whoop, and then out. And there's a little hook on the end in here, and it just goes boot, boot on this metal rod that works the door. Well, what you have to do is you have to stick your finger in there, pull it out, and then push back here or on there, and move that little slidey housing over a little bit, and that will hold that locking lever out so you can get the hook around it. Really easy to do on the front. Well, this one, the way this is designed, that can't fall out. Well, unless it can, and I got lucky. This, if you move it, the mechanism, the housing in there, it slides in. If it slides too far back, what you do is once that's in there, then you can you keep pressure on the back so you can't shoot it out the back. You slide it back just a little bit, and then this falls in, and then you work the housing in, tighten that set screw, put the cap on. But what I did was I accidentally pushed on it too hard, and it fell out into the depths of this freaking door. There's still a Torx bit Allen that fell through that hole. I about shit myself. That I'm gonna try to pull out. I got a magnet here. No wait, that's not my magnet. That's my extension for the door screws. I got a magnet around here somewhere that I was using. I'm gonna have to find it now. I don't know where I put it. God damn it. I'm gonna need that. Because there's the magnet. The whole door housing, the only magnetic bits in that door are the bolts to hold things together, and I'm assuming the window regulator. I think that's ferrous metal. Could be I don't know. Could be tin. So everything's aluminum. Everything you can see on this car is either plastic or aluminum. There is no visible ferrous metal, no visible steel anywhere on this car unless you're underneath it and you pull panels off. There's some frame steel. So yeah, that was a nightmare. So I had to pull apart the back door when I still have to pull apart the driver's side door to figure out what's going on with the with that rattle yet, and freaking replace that trim piece, because that trim piece you have to pull the internal inside thing off to get that trim piece out, because the screws are on the inside, and to do that you have to remove the fucking panel. So now I'm removing the panels on both doors. I about had an aneurysm. I lost my shit. I almost threw up because I didn't think I was going to get that out of there. Hopefully I can get the T20 that's missing out of there, out of the door. Just in case you're wondering, those screws to slide you back off to pull the little blocks out. That's a T20. That's a T20, and the three screws. That's all it is. In the doors, they're T25s, and you got these little things on the back after that to pop them off. I wish they were marked better. I'm hoping this one ain't broke. I don't think it is, because I lost a little teeny piece of plastic. You think they would design the stuff like this in a way that didn't break as easy, but I think I'm good. So fuck me, man. Holy shit, this has been a pain in the ass. And we got it. Freaking magnets. Amazing. Never thought I would see that freaking tool again, man. Okay, she's all back together. Door's all back together. And the window's moving like it's supposed to. The only thing is I know I got everything plugged in and every other light works. The door handle light works. This little light's working. This light's down here is working. That little red light ain't coming on anymore. Which kind of pisses me off. And yes, it is a light. It's not a reflector. It was on when I was working on the car. I had to take a mallet, I couldn't get it to pop, the trim to pop around as much as I would like. And with my hands, I had to use like a little rubber hammer, and that was the spot was being picky, and it finally popped in. I'm thinking the vibration fucked that light, made that light go, broke that light in there, that filament. It's going to be LED, so, but the vibration might have done it. Either that or I completely fucking forgot to plug it back in. I mean, I looked 3 to 4 times, made sure, okay, everything's plugged in, right? You know? I think the light just quit working as I was putting it back together. So yeah, I didn't have any wires hanging, no plugs, no loose plugs of any kind. So that kind of pisses me off a little bit. It bothers me if something doesn't work, but that's just a little red door light that you're never gonna fucking notice. So car's making all kinds of weird noises right now. I still gotta put those on, the little covers eventually. But how I got that little block back in there was I tied some string around it, fished this, well, it's sewing, you know, whatever you call that, sewing string around it. Fished it through that hole, got it up there, and was able to hold it in. And then through the outside with my other hand, I was somehow able to go bloop, bloop, after about, I swear, like 15 minutes of actually trying it. And then that worked. Oh, that's right. I gotta put that little cap back over that hole. And then the string's down there on the floor. Yes. Then after that, it was all put together. Before tightening it, I just grabbed and broke the string off. And there's this little grommet. Oh my God. So last thing left to do, just forget about that little red light not working. Because, well, you can't see it now because I got the lights off. Those only come on when the lights are set to automatic. And that isn't why that's not coming on. I gotta replace this little bit, start pulling this apart, so. Well, I found the missing nut that came off. Now that I got this apart. Here's a little trick I want to show you though. It doesn't feel like it was in the front of the door, so it's gonna be in the front here. Yep. And I bet you anything, it's the bolt that. Is there anything else down here? Is there a bolt or just a nut down here? Just probably a nut. I bet it's where the window mounts to the regulator. I bet it's the top bit. So, as you're probably thinking, the window's got to go down to get to that, right? Well, the only window switch in the car is on the roof right now, right? Well, this is where this comes in handy. If you program your windows open and closed on your remote, look at that. You can roll the window up and down to any position you want with the key fob if you have that enabled. Another reason to do that, if you have a friend with a Rostec or something like that, or a shop with one, and you want to enable that. Even if you don't think you're ever going to use it, oh my God. You forget to roll up a window or close a sunroof after you get out of the car so many times. Trust me, that is awesome. And I found it. Let's roll this back up. Okay, it is this bolt. There's a little grommet. I just happened to notice there's a grommet. There's another one for the top one here. This is really well designed. Look at that shit. So basically, I just need to get a socket that can, so I don't drop that down there again. Probably put some blue Loctite or something on it, so it can't come off again, and we'll be good. And then I gotta figure out how to remove this. I think this comes off. It does appear so. Yeah, the stud comes out, and then replace this plastic. But you have to remove this to get that off. Okay, she's in there with that blue Loctite. That does not move with the window, thankfully. So that should still be. I'm gonna open it all the way. Make sure all the play's out of it, and then we were going to make sure this is tight. Yep, there we go. Then hold the lock button down on the remote, and actually, I think I'm going to leave this all the way down while I work on this. Get that glass out of there so it's not part of the equation anymore. So, it's probably a good idea. Okay, she's back together and everything works, except for that one red light. This thing, come on. Ta-da. This thing, that's on there solid now. The little triangle. Oh my God. This thing was broke. I mean, just broke to all hell. I can't find my hammer. I got that rubber hammer and it's around here somewhere. I was looking for it to try to tap this in, but I got it by hand, right? This door panel. This little bit was broke off. This is supposed to be like on here or whatever, and this goes on top of it, and then there's supposed to be a thing here. It goes in like that, and you know, and then this screw from the inside that fell down into the car. Had to get that out. There's the old lights. Got to put my window breaker thing and my rubber ducky from my Jeep back in there. So the next thing on the list is I'm going to back this out into the driveway. So I had to run the car to make sure the button for the side mirrors, the dead blind spot indicators, Jesus, worked. So I don't want it to get hot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back the car out into the front of the garage and then let it cool. Let the engine cool down, and then I'm going to wash the car off, at least pressure wash this, wash the outside of the car off, and then I'm going to spray the engine, and then once the spray off the engine, once the engine's done, I'm going to armor all it, make it nice and pretty again. But man, this was a bitch. This was a bitch. Glad everything but the diffs is over, so I'm gonna have to have that done. So and there we go. I'm almost done editing this. I'm at the end of the actual cutting process, and I got a little bit of editing left to do, some things to change. Hopefully you liked the 3D text in the beginning. That was the first time I've ever been able to do that. I know it was a longer video, but if you made it to the end, thanks for watching. I think it's going to be like an hour and a half. Hopefully that's the last video with the car for a while. It's getting late. I got to finish this up so I don't have to do any editing tomorrow. Till then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Adios.